Detroit, live from Detroit.
Yo, what up, though? It's your man Jay Johnson, aka the tinfoil hat titan, aka the conspiracy realist, aka the technology snob, Steve Jobs Jr. Don't text you with your green bubbles, aka I only debate my equals, everybody else I teach. Also known as Juice, because all the hoes say J.U. Ice, Young Caesar, because you know you can't roam without me. Mr. If you don't like me, fight me. I got kicked out of Noah's Ark because they couldn't find another animal just like me, aka the West Side T'Challa, the new leader of Wakanda. Don't debate me, debate your mama. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. What up?
What up, though? It's your man Dame, 3_313. The West Side landlord, the pride of PA. High Chief Dame don't fuck around. The liquor store legend, the corner store conquistador, your mama's favorite Dame, and the David Ruffin of the Shop Talk Podcast, because you know who the fuck they came to see. Not you, Otis. It's no better than these 4 letters. Thank God for Dame. And if you're speaking on Dame, you better say it nice. And if you don't put the boss in front, then bitch, you not saying it right. It's the Honorable Judge Boss Dame and this bitch. All rise. I am a motherfucking black belt. And niggas, my motherfucking birthday. Let's go.
Yo, welcome to the birthday.
Yeah, man. No fighting on my birthday. Yeah. No kumite.
No kumite
on my birthday. Nobody's catching hands for me on my birthday.
Unless it's a round of applause for Dame on his birthday.
Goddamn
right.
Me? Goddamn.
Round of applause. Welcome back, Shop Talk Podcast, episode 446.
On you hoes.
On you hoes.
We wasn't really I forgot who mentioned it. I was struggling last week through my intro. There's like that no cussing.
You didn't know
killing
how
Dave.
Cuss.
It's like it's killing them.
Yeah, that's funny. But I always do think, depending on our guests, we got to show them the type of respect that they deserve, as well as when their audience listen, they could tap out like, no, I'm not listening to all this.
Yeah, and
we do have a bit of a long intro.
We do, but I understand. Well, first of all, shout out to our guest Boyd White III. Amazing interview, amazing conversation.
Yeah, major conversation
that we had. He was very open and transparent, and just really fun.
Yeah,
because you just never know with guests. I mean, based on the people that we knew around him, I assumed it'd be cool.
I mean, he's a preacher, so he can talk.
Yeah,
like,
and there were certain points where I felt like he was like kind of getting into that bag too.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was a wonderful story. It was a great pod.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Boyd. I actually went to church. I went to church last week.
Yeah, you said
you weren't there.
You said
you weren't there.
I was not.
I prayed for you though.
It sounded like you and Curve, y'all said y'all sent me a blessing, and I received it.
Yeah,
I legitimately received it.
Amen. Amen. But yeah, I went to church. Boy recognized me in church, you know, from the podcast, and he brought up Apostle Curve. That he didn't know Curve had a street name. So that was fun. But wonderful service, man. Younger crowd for the church, kind of a more casual feeling, but it was a really, really good service. I got a chance to catch up. So I remember Boyd's wife from high school. We weren't friends, but like I remember her face.
Yeah.
And you know, her kind of moving in her circle. So we got a chance to kind of like talk a little bit after service. There's a couple different of my castmates that go to the church. So
it's always interesting seeing like people your age like matriculate through high school, college, and be in their professions. I don't know if I could go to the church of somebody I grew up with. But I don't know, because like one of my best friends decided like I'm a pastor. I am 100% gonna listen to what he got to say, or like go there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gotta feel weird.
So it was almost kind of like that same feeling with Boyd. Like I remember him from school, but like he was like 2 years older than me, so it wasn't like we necessarily always ran into the same circles. I knew seniors and stuff because I played football, and that opens you up to like a different community. And then when I was, you know, you do have some classes with upperclassmen, so like you know a couple of people, but like that, them ain't my year.
Ninth grade going into cash, you don't have like a whole bunch
Nah.
of upperclassmen. You can study hall or something like that.
The one thing that it's funny that you mentioned that, because in ninth grade I had a photography class.
Same.
We didn't do shit though. We took 0 pictures.
Really?
0.
That's who Mr. Willard was my photography.
Okay, I didn't have Willard. I had the other nigga. His name was Mr. Fadala.
I remember Mr. Fadala.
Okay, and we took no pictures. We gave him $20 at the beginning of the year for supplies. I asked him about it, like, "Hey man, what happened to the supply money?" He was like, "You bought an egg." So, all right. I mean, I didn't know how to answer that at 14. I just like, it's $20, so nothing to trip about. But we didn't.
Well, no, at 14, $20 is a lot of fucking money.
It wasn't my money, so I just didn't take it personally.
What do you think? Like, what do you think that is worth now? That's about $100.
Maybe
a 20. I mean,
a 20 spot could get you a little bit further back in 96.
Yeah,
a lot further.
Because I'm not trying.
That was like my lunch for the week and some extra shit. Like I go to the store.
Because like lunch was like the fries was $1. So like $2.50, you get a whole lunch.
You lunched out for $3 tops. Like I get, them little sheet pizzas. Some
fries was fries every day.
Fries and pizza was like, I am satisfied for lunch. So but we didn't take no pictures, but I had some seniors in the class, and I had this girl in the class that was a senior, and she kind of like took a little liking to me. So I was able to meet her. Like that's how I met upperclassmen, through her. And we stayed cool shit till after she graduated and like had a baby and shit. So but I didn't know him, but like that, but I remembered him. So the service was great. And then like my homeboy Ivan, there was a point in time where he was preaching.
Ivan older or younger?
Me and Ivan same age. And there's a point in time where like he was preaching. So like when he did his trial sermon and all that, like, yeah, of course I'm gonna go like it's support the homie.
It's weird because like if that's your man's and like you believe in him, yeah, I'll follow you. Cause I believe you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's just somebody that's the same age, it's like, I don't know. And it's all mental.
That's
the point I was trying to get to is like it literally does not matter. And it's all mental.
It doesn't. And it was a good experience to see Boyd in that space, preaching, singing, like he the pastor.
It's crazy.
And his flock, they love him and they listen to him. Like he the pastor.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing to that's how I kind of started the week. Then man, you took the wind out our sails in the middle, like a day or two into the week, with the news about the guy Rob Silva. If you haven't known, Rob left us and went to transition and be with the Lord this past Monday.
Well, Monday before last.
Yeah, Monday before last, rather.
21st.
We got the news like Monday or Tuesday, which was devastating for somebody that I have never physically met. It was like losing an uncle. It was losing a friend.
It's losing a friend for sure. And then I remembered, I didn't remember until Verge had put that timestamp in the episode where he gave us a shout out for Christmas and told us these books to go look at.
He sent a book to me, you, and Aunt.
I'm like, man, like I forgot that happened. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can get so caught up with life and pod and let me edit, let me upgrade, and like, and you don't never stop to like smell the roses type thing.
Yeah.
And like I forgot, clearly I remember getting the book the whole night, but like I forgot that happened. And you be feeling, man.
I got the book right beside my bedside because I've like, usually I read at night and then I put the book over to the side and I try and rotate or change up the books that I have. But for some reason, I just hadn't taken that one off of my nightstand. So, that was crazy. And shout out to Rob, his lady,
Rob
his
Silva,
family.
When he was tapped in with This Week in Culture Heavy, a couple years back, I was on the Shop Talk Twitter and was going through DMs and found an old DM from Rob on Shop Talk from like 2017 or something.
Yeah, man, he been
And I'm
down
like,
for a long time.
And I was like, damn, Rob, I just seen this one, man. I didn't know you you was down for that long.
Yeah,
He was like, yeah, man. Cause like initially on Twitter, like if the person you didn't follow the person, it'll be like in a different section.
right.
Or whatever, which I didn't know there was a section over there. I'm like, look at all this shit over here. And I'm like, oh, this Rob. Man, it's sad, man. It really is, man. It was really sad. But Rob was tapped in with the whole Shop Talk podcast studio family, all the different people. It was, I mean, just a community of Detroit people who tapped in with him, let alone the people who listen to his Legends of Sports and Music podcast.
Yeah,
Let alone people who listen to his two different boxing podcasts. Rob been podcasting since 2014. Like his World Championship Boxing podcast, he used to do with another gentleman. I look at their first episode, it was 2014. That's 2 years before we started.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Good guy, man. Powerful voice. Always a wealth of knowledge. Great energy. We did a tribute podcast to him.
It's amazing podcast This Week in Culture did to tribute Rod. And I'm not going to give it away for people, but if you listen to the full podcast, there's definitely a little nugget of sunshine at the end of the podcast.
I really debated about doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, my brand was going to do it, and I put it, then I was like, wait, should I do that?
Yeah, I think you made the right decision. It was nice to hear that. So had that happen during the week. I got a chance to go out to my man Ivan Key, did it 313. He had Well Dressed Wednesdays this past Wednesday. It was the 1 year anniversary. So I got a chance to go out to that. As I was coming up, Nelson was leaving. Like we met at the elevator. Yeah. First of all, Nelson is one of the freshest niggas I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, this mic is a slow bend. It's slow.
Yeah, I see. I see it's drooping.
You might have to lift it up 3 or 4 times by the end of the pod.
That's fine.
It's a slow.
But I ran into Nelson, crispy as a motherfucker. Ran into Marv Neal. Crystal walked in. I ain't even gonna front, man. I showed Crystal all 32 of my teeth. She was looking so fucking good.
Beautiful woman.
She is. Like, nigga, first of all, I wasn't expecting to see her. Then I walked in and like she was literally the first person I saw, and I just I started blushing like no bitch. But it was good to see Crystal. Ivan, is always the consummate gentleman, got me a birthday drink or two.
Oh shit. Speaking of, hey man, it's your birthday. I got you a birthday cake, man.
Oh man.
Hey man.
Thank you, brother.
I didn't know if you had any,
I haven't had a birthday cake.
Good. And well, happy birthday.
Cake?
I can't.
That's right. You still on the What kind is it? A yellow cake?
I think it might be white.
Okay.
But I got,
Thank you. I'm gonna have to dive into that at the crib. I appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
So somebody else I ran into. Oh, so whenever 2 or more Nigerians are gathered, scamming will take place. And I ran into my homeboy Sean, who is full-blooded Nigerian. And I always shake that he has some of his homies with him. So I do.
It's so funny that Nigerians are known for that, but everybody who I've come in contact with who are Nigerian, they have these Nigerian parents, which are really, really strict and don't play no nonsense. So it's the kids who scam, not the adults.
So we always joke about that because my homeboy Sean, his girl is Lebanese, and both his parents have passed.
I mean, her sexual preferences are up to her. You know what I'm saying?
That's fun. I see what you tried to do. But both his parents had passed away. But before he had passed, he's like his dad didn't approve of the relationship. He wanted him to find
a nice Nigerian.
He's like, this girl, she does not know how to take care of you. Let me find, like he was like his dad was always trying to hook him up with different Nigerian girls.
Your dad ever try to hook you up, or your parents ever try to hook you up with somebody?
No, man, my parents knew I was crazy. Like,
Yeah, they
just-
wouldn't do that to nobody.
like, my mother never suggested that shit. Never. And like, I remember my mom had a friend that had like nothing but daughters, like 5 or 6 of them. And one was like around my age. And like, we connected like later on in life, but like nothing ever came from. But I was always like, why am my mama, I was like, Miss Black got some fine ass daughters.
Yeah, but that's my friend. And now she gonna
That's what I'm saying. Like that was her, like, sometimes work friends turn into more.
big fact.
And that was like one of them work friends of hers that like became literally almost like family. So, but my mama, look, man, you ain't thugging till your mama know you doing wrong. And my mama knew that like I was out here being like hell on wheels. She wasn't putting that on nobody else.
Yeah,
And my dad, like, so my dad worked down at Wayne County Community College. So sometimes, like on my off days, I'll roll up on him. We had lunch or something. And it'd be all these fine ass girls coming into his office. And I'm like, he was like, man, I got to work here every day. He's like,
where your son at? That nigga owed me $42.
He said, for you, it's just a good time. But he was like, I work with, like, I see these people, start and then graduate. Like, you're not going.
Which one did he work at?
He moved around, but his last stop was at the one downtown.
I went to Greenfield campus.
No, he worked at downtown, and then
also 25 years ago.
I mean, he been there since he graduated college. So he worked at the one downtown, and I know he worked at the one on the east side for like 15 years. So
WC3, that's a HBCU for sure.
That's probably the equivalent.
It ain't no but niggas. Well, no, that's white folks in there.
But I mean, yeah,
it's 13th grade. Nigga, everybody from Cody was in that motherfucker.
And that's what it was for me. It's just like an extension. Shit, I was taking college courses in high school because he worked there. So, but like, I always look at that like I kind of fucked that up because like I could take
educators.
I could take classes there for free, and I don't have not an associate degree from WC3.
That's crazy.
I could take classes there scot ass free, and I don't have nothing to show for that shit.
That's crazy.
Me or my sister. It's stupid. It's the stupidest thing in the world. Free education, and I didn't do jack shit with it.
Them niggas on the right is probably looking at you like it's your fault. Niggas who was screaming on us on that video content.
I did not do jack shit with it. So that was Wednesday. Shout out to my homie Sean. Like I said, I ran into that nigga and some of his Nigerian friends. Every time I see that nigga, I was like, dog, you ain't got no cars, crack. He's like, man, I don't do that. I got 4 jobs.
Yeah, them niggas don't do the cars. Nigga, they do the really low down dirty. They will trick you over the phone. Niggas will trick you over the phone.
Yeah, the crazy thing.
Nigerian prince, huh? Left you some money, huh?
The crazy thing, I was talking to that nigga because he was he got dual citizenship here in Nigeria, and he was talking about how he built a crib over there too, because he was like, man, I might have to get out of America sooner or later.
I'm pretty sure it's still safer here.
I've never been to Nigeria. I don't know. Like if I'm a native,
I say I'm pretty sure, like I'm actually sure.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Like if I'm a native of that land, it might be a better situation. He's like, I'm building a crib.
No, I'm still fairly sure that America is still better than Nigeria.
Maybe.
Well, I don't say better because now I feel like I'm being disrespectful to my motherland.
but maybe. So I did that Wednesday. Thursday, me, you, and AJ did the power hour.
I'm about to say, what we do on Thursday?
Yeah, we did the power hour yesterday. It's always good to, I don't know, man. Something about AJ done turned it up a notch. It's something about when I talk to him lately, he be preaching. He be preaching in pod.
Well, you got to think about it this way, though. In their podcast, they don't do the talking. They ask the questions.
Yeah.
So that's always learning about somebody else. It's only the pods where like you will be on there, or I'll be on there, and we just kicking it that they be like their regular sales
Yeah.
or whatever and get the,
So we just don't get that from them all
on their podcast.
Yeah.
But like when we just kicking it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I kick it to these niggas every Sunday for a couple hours for a number of years. So like, yeah, man.
So they were spitting. I mean, AJ was spitting, and he gave me a nugget of advice that, I'm gonna try and hold on to with this fasting to bring in my birthday.
Yeah.
Because this morning I woke up and I felt like a sense of humility. For the fact that, number one, I've made it 43 years. And I'm not like Boy said, I ain't old, but I ain't young neither. I done seen some shit. I done survived a hell of a lot. I always look at how many times I came really close to checking out this bitch and I didn't. So I'm just thankful and humble for another year of life. I woke up to, text and calls and posts from family, friends, associates.
What's so interesting is any other day of the week, let's just say it's March 20th or some shit. You open the Facebook app and you see it's somebody's birthday and you be like, happy birthday. And you go on with your fucking life. You forgot that shit happened.
Yeah.
When it's your birthday and you get 20 and 30, like that shit mean the most. That's like the most, like, thank you, man.
Dog, one of my homies hit me up and I haven't spoke to him since before my pops died. No beef or nothing. He moved out of town. We kind of lost contact and he like texted my phone and was like, happy birthday. I hadn't talked to this nigga in at least 6 years. And it's funny how like sometimes the birthday wishes bring people out from.
That's what when the ex niggas and holidays, like it's a reason, it's a clear path for me to reach out without it being super awkward. So all them future texts be like, yo, it's Thanksgiving. If you would have give me thanks for it, like all that that weird shit. Cause like them holidays and different things, like, oh, I've been wanting to reach out for a while,
right?
But now here's an opportunity.
Yeah, here's my chance to do it. So it was nice to catch up with people. I appreciate all the birthday love, the birthday wishes. Got a couple birthday cash apps and Apple Pays. And literally hundreds of people have reached out to me today.
I feel good.
People that I know real well. Some people I don't know and haven't met at all. They just follow us. They follow the show.
Who know you.
Yeah. And it's always, humbling because you all can just go on about your day. You ain't got to say shit.
Yeah.
But the fact that somebody just took a few minutes out of their day just to, acknowledge me. It's always appreciated. You don't watch wrestling.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He put your ones up. Yeah.
You don't know about the tribal chief.
I do. I understand.
But
I work with a bunch of wrestling fans.
Okay. So
he plays the music on his phone and he does this until the music stops. Jeff.
Oh, Jeff is a
wild boy.
That's a nice way to put it. I gotta come up to your job because
you don't.
No, I do because I called.
No, wait. I don't know what you about to say, but don't say it.
They gave me some misinformation.
All right. But look, what I was about to say.
I need to come talk to somebody.
What I was about to say is this. On the birthday thing and it being like an opportunity to people to reach out, I want y'all to really think about that in 3 weeks when Thanksgiving comes around and you ready to tell people that you don't want no Thanksgiving text. You take me out there, group this. I swear, I hope this don't happen to you, but there's going to be a time in your life where you would like human contact. You would like that somebody is thinking about you on a day that they think about happiness and things that they are thankful. You cross somebody's mind on the day that we give thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people who do not have family, dog, who sitting at the crib by themselves, not eating no Thanksgiving, nothing, nobody thinking about them. And shit get really bad. And like just the idea, maybe somebody was waiting and wanting to talk to you, and this is that opportunity. It's a holiday. I can text this. They want to they hoping you respond back, right? And then once you respond back, maybe they can get a conversation going, whatever, man. But
No, because I've been one of them niggas that be like, don't send me your. But like as I get older, as my family has started to dwindle away, my Thanksgivings look a lot different now than they did 5-6 years ago. My children are getting older. My son got a woman.
he over there.
Yeah, he gonna be with his boo on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
He meeting their family and her family.
Absolutely, because that's the natural progression of life. You know, one of my people's, we went out to lunch and he was talking about she was talking about, you know, our sons are about the same age. My son's 21, her son's a little bit older. He like 23, 24. And she was like, she realized the other day, because he's already graduated college, he's in his career, he's still living at home for the time being because she want to help him, you know, really get on his feet. But had to realize the other day, she's like, he got a woman and he love her. Like that's where he spend his free time at. She's like, my baby is going to leave me and be with this woman and possibly give me grandchildren. Yeah. And she was like, it was just like a hard concept for her to grasp because she's a single mother. This is her only child. Like
I get that.
She been with him her whole life.
And I mean this with love. You should have been preparing him for that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like preparing him to be ready to be a husband to some young girl. And this is how you got to make sure that she is taken care of. And I don't know the girl, and this is not like a chastise type thing, but like I can imagine that from a mother of a son, that you want him to be like a really good husband, to take care of somebody how you would ideally want somebody to take care of you and stuff like that.
I look at it with like my son is that he watched me make all my mistakes. Like he was there front row and seeing shit that he probably shouldn't have.
He might have seen the fallout, but he has no idea why those things happen. And you know why those things happen, right?
It's a little bit different because when me and his mother separated, shit, he might have been 7, 8. He's the only one that really remembers all of us living in a house together.
Yeah.
But beyond that, you know, he's seen me be a bachelor and date and make poor decisions with women. He's seen his mother date, get remarried. And like for me, when I watch him date, what I see is him being very careful. He doesn't date multiple women at like the same time. Like
most men don't.
I didn't know that was like a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
and I really do. When I say most men, I really do think most men don't, because most men don't even have the ability to, like, most people are just regular people and they don't have like a roster full of women and shit.
And maybe I've done dating wrong.
It's possible.
No, it's not possible. It's accurate. I've done dating wrong because like when I talk to other people about, so I've gotten into arguments with women about dating exclusively. Now, and in my mind, I feel like if we date exclusively, like that's just a junior relationship. Like we together.
That's what dating is. Dating is a junior relationship.
All right. so clearly my viewpoint on it has been wrong.
I mean, it's different. I won't say, because who am I to say what's right or wrong? You know what I'm saying? It's different.
I mean, when most people have an issue with it, it's probably a little bit wrong. So my son doesn't date multiple. He doesn't keep multiple girls around. It'll be one that he focus in and like, that's all he's dating. And, me and him have had tense conversations because when you're a teenager, you start to bristle up a little bit and, puff your chest out. And he had said something to me one time, like, I would never raise my sons like this. And I'm like, I'm glad you feel that way, son. Because I did the best I fucking could. Which, like, I had you when I was a baby. I was, you about to graduate college, nigga, you were in my arms already. Like, I was wiping your ass and figuring out shit after I've never touched a child before I had you. Never changed a diaper, never burped a baby, never fed a baby. So I was trying to figure this shit out. And I'm glad that you see and feel that you can do this shit better than I could. Because, nigga, I didn't have a clue.
Not even better. just different, right? Because I don't know that my different is gonna ultimately be better, right? Because he might go a different route and can't be horrible.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? The route I did turned out pretty good, son.
And that's what I told him. I said, man, you can feel how you feel about, have I been a perfect father? Absolutely not. But I got you through elementary school, middle school, one of the better high schools in Detroit. I got you off to college where you pretty much have sailed and took the reins through there. Like, nigga, to me, that's a win. You ain't never been locked up. You ain't never been in no trouble. Ain't never seen the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, you probably done lived in some hoods that, maybe weren't the best. But like me and your mother shielded you from the bullshit. Like, nigga, you don't know what it is like outside.
And that's what I mean. So when you said like, yo, he didn't seen,
He seen me not be at my best.
Yeah. But I don't have no idea what kind of conversation you had with him. But is there ever a conversation like, look, these are the places these are the places that I went wrong, and I want to give you this. I don't know that you're doing this or that you would ever do it, but this may be an area that I went wrong, and you may have seen the fallout because of these decisions or whatever. Me and such was arguing on the front lawn, but like this what really happened, and this is where I went wrong, or this is where things went wrong, right? Because it's never one person. Even if it's one is more than the other, it's never just one, right?
Right.
But like this is where things went wrong, and I just want you to be aware of possible decisions, because I be like at this age, me and my cousins and everybody, we are like, and I've been on this thing where documenting our family history and different things, and I've recorded different family members explaining different stories, and all of them have different versions of the same story. And because this is what someone thought, and they told that side of the family, because like my grandma had 9 brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? So what they thought, my grandma ran away and ran to Detroit when she was 18 and or what have you. And like that's not actually what happened. I understand why these people think, or these brothers or whatnot, because he went to go pick her up from school. She wasn't there. She ran away. That's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? But if there is never a conversation during times that matter where the story is ever like, yo, this is the full story, this is fleshed out, because I got the story now on tape and everything, and when I had family up here a couple weeks ago, they were explaining like a very close version, and then me and Netta was like, nah, that's not actually what happened. But I understand why such a church would think that. But like sometimes I be thinking like, man, it be so much information and so much knowledge that we don't get to pass on, because we don't literally say, hey, look, hey man, I fucked up. Or I thought things were one way and I thought I had it figured out, and I just didn't. I should have asked for help. I've been in a situation where, because I was in a past relationship that was controlling, my next one, I wouldn't let nobody control me.
Yep.
Stuff like that. And like, look, I overcorrected. And when I overcorrected, I fucked something else up for somebody else, you know?
So I've explained to him certain things, what I felt was appropriate from him to hear. And even when he's asked me specifically about certain situations, he when he was younger, he used to ask about me and his mother. And my best explanation to him was like, look, man, I was young and I was trying to learn how to be a father, a man, and a husband all at the same time, which are 3 completely separate journeys.
For sure.
And I just wasn't good at the husband part because I didn't have that humbleness to first of all, listen to my young wife. And then like, you need community. Boyd mentioned something when he was talking to us about marriage. Like, I thought it was lame to hang around the other married niggas at church, because like they older. Like to me, they was just like older niggas and they was lame. But no, I needed to have some of those conversations to understand why they did what they did, why they moved, how they moved. And that was my community because that was a church we got married in, and they just genuinely wanted to help me.
Man, I asked I did a mini documentary or interview with Vanessa and Fonzo for their 10th year anniversary stuff. And I asked them questions because I saw their whole relationship. You feel me?
I remember you always saying you saw them on their first date.
Yeah. And then so I've seen it all. And one of the questions I'm like I see that y'all consistently stay around other married couples that I know, that other friends or whatever, and like, is that strategic or whatnot? And to your point that you're making now, and to Boy's point, is like, this is what keeps you in that thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because none of my friends at the time were married, but I'm still my boys. Like, I want to hang with my friends.
Yeah,
but married life, and I didn't understand why my wife wanted me at home. Like, I legit had a curfew. My homeboys used to like rag on me about the shit, but I understand, like, there's nothing out in the streets as a married man why I need to be out the house. I thought me having to be home at 2:00 was crazy because I'm grown, I pay these bills, I don't live with my mama. And I would drag my ass home and sit in the basement and just sulk and complain because, like, she sleep, the kids sleep. Why the fuck I gotta be at home at 2:00?
Yeah,
but like a married man don't need to be out in the streets at 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
That's the part about you saying I'm becoming a man, becoming an adult, and becoming a husband. Because like when I'm coming of age and I'm 21, 22, 23, like on some lion shit, young cubs, like you want to go out there and get your own kills. Like I want to experience, like,
yeah,
I'm man, I'll make my own decisions. Look at me, type thing. And it's really stupid, but like,
no, it was
but it's needed.
It was completely asinine what I was looking to do because I was still heavy in the rapping, but like if you've ever been in a studio environment, it's liquor,
nigga,
women,
shit.
All of that shit is around the studio. And my wife understood that. And that's why she wanted me to be home at a fucking decent time so I didn't fall into some of the pitfalls of that shit.
Studio
and I just
time cheaper at night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We in that motherfucker all night. Like nigga. I set a specific day where me and you gonna go on dates. Like, what if that's the night we got a session?
I remember one time, shout out to my nigga Mo Dirty. We was recording Mo's first album and we had a session. And we ended up, like, no bullshit, we probably didn't leave the studio till like 4 or 5 in the morning. So we left the studio, let's say 5:30. I didn't make it home till 6:00. Now, me and Crystal were just living in our apartment at the time. So I come home, it's 6:00, but it's my off day.
Yeah.
And she was working like 3 to midnight. I was working 8 to 5. So, some days I would just see her when she came home. I mean, midnight, I'm usually already at the crib, chilling, watching, I'm ready for bed basically. But on my off days, I'd hang out a little bit. So I left and I went to the studio and I just didn't think shit of it. Like, this is my off day. I'm grown. And I came home and she was like on the couch sleep. And I'm like, why the fuck she not in the bed? Because she had never experienced me like being gone. And she was like genuinely upset. Like, why'd you stay out so late at the studio without saying nothing? I'm just like, we was at the, we had the stew. Like, it's no big deal. But I didn't understand the seeds that I was planting at that time. That like, yo, she was telling me without saying it, like, be considerate. I need something a little. Let me know you okay.
And that's the thing with like young adults is I've never been in this situation before. I don't know how to handle it. Ideally, yeah, I wish I did it the right way the first time, but like that's not really how things work.
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle this. I didn't realize I was messing up at the time. And of course, I'm pretty sure she said, nigga, bring your ass to the house in a decent hour. And now you got the opportunity to rebel. But initially, it's like, hey, I didn't know that was an issue. I wasn't, men are from Venus, women are from Mars, or vice versa.
Like, literally in my mind, I didn't think what I was doing was a big deal because it wasn't no chicks around. Like, we had our little clique.
Because the studio don't always. It's Hoes don't be in the studio. Definitely not back then. Now it's possibly a little bit different. Now, any girls that's in the studio is the girls who singing on songs and like such and such. Like them not like the ideal.
So and I'm like you. Back when I first started like rapping, the studio wasn't experienced like it is now. It wasn't like
An Instagram photo shoot type thing.
And it was really business because to get into a nice studio costs money.
Yeah.
Niggas is working. We had to pool our money together. And like you said, it's cheaper after hours. That's why we in the studio from midnight to 6 a.m. because it's cheaper. We all pulled, like we had all made our crew, Concrete, had made the decision we gonna get behind Dirt. So we all pull our money, our resources to help support him.
You know what funded them albums, dog? Me selling cable funded them fucking. Dumbass commission checks went to studio time. That shit went from to pressing up CDs, getting booklets made, doing all that. That's where the money was at. And I be thinking like, yo, what the fuck I'm doing all that money? I'm paying for studio time. We paying for beats. We doing all type of shit.
Nigga, I bought our CD burner. I spent $200 and I bought the CD burner. And nigga, like we got our money's worth out of that bitch. Like nigga, we was burning CDs all day, every day.
We was going to the disc. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we should have been doing that shit ourselves, but like, nah, we professionals, my nigga. We you know what I'm saying? Like
nigga, you used to have to put a label on top of the CD and make sure it was pressed perfectly.
Then we get it. Then we recorded. Then we paid for it to get mixed. We paid for it to get mastered. Like all this shit costs money, my nigga.
So in my mind, again, I didn't think I was doing nothing wrong. So I've shared like anecdotes like that with my son, especially when I see and hear certain things. So like there's a girl he's been dating now for a couple months. And it's, in my opinion, it looked pretty serious. Like this could possibly be like my daughter-in-law in maybe a few years. Because they locked in. And like that's his woman. And I have no issues with her. She's a beautiful girl, smart. But like, so my first time I met her, it was really late. Insomnia Cookie is like right next door to his apartment. His younger sister loves Insomnia Cookie. We was out hanging and she was like, I wonder if my brother is up. And we called him and he came down and he brought her down with her. And like, it was still nice outside, but it was like a little chill. She got up, she's dressed respectably. She got on like some yoga pants and a t-shirt and all of that, but it's a little breezy outside. And we all talking. I'm like, man, she clearly a little cold. Like, can we go up to your apartment to like talk for a sec? Like, I'm not trying to stay, but like long enough to let your sister eat this cookie, us have a brief conversation, then we left. So we go up to his apartment, we get to talking, and she kept saying something about being hungry or, I wanted something to eat, but I got here too late. I'm like, nigga, you got food in the fridge. Like, warm up something for her to eat. Like, she hungry.
Man, this is I had a conversation with a lady friend of mine, and sometimes people just don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In one of my first apartments, I told her this. She was like, I said that? I was like, yeah. Because she was explaining how she was doing something for somebody and she don't understand why they don't do it for themselves. I'm like, because they never did it. They don't know that they're not doing it. And I was like, when one of my very first apartments that I lived in, you told me that the bottom of my toilet was dirty and it was nasty. And it never crossed in my mind to clean the bottom of the toilet. It's like my first apartment.
Yeah.
I cleaned the house at home, but like mama, like I didn't clean the bottom of the fucking toilet. It was never dirty in my eyes. I don't fucking know.
Because your mama cleaned it every week, and that's why it never got dirty.
Yeah. But when a woman pointed something out to me and she like, that's nasty, I'm like, oh shit. Now that thought never leaves my fucking brain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, we gotta clean the bottom of this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But like, once somebody teaches you, now it's like when you know better, you do better. Like literally, you do better. And like, I mean, I was old enough to live on my own, but like I didn't know.
I remember my first time.
That sounds crazy, but it is what it
No,
is.
but that shit is like the type of shit that shapes you. I remember like when me and my ex-wife were together, she did all the grocery shopping. Like I'd help bring groceries in,
Yeah.
but I never did like the shopping myself. I'd keep the kids and I'd be like, man, why it take her so fucking long to go out there and get a couple groceries? Shit. It's just food. And then like the first time I did grocery shopping by myself, I took somebody I was dating with me. And she watching me shop and she was like, why you like for me, I used to get like a lot of off-brand. Great Value was my shit. Great Value ketchup, Great Value mustard, like Great Value. If it's there at Walmart, I'm buying it. Fuck that name brand shit.
Some of the company brands have got a lot better these days. I'll tell
Okay,
you
but
that.
this is back in
That the Kroger Select shit.
yeah, but this is back in the
Yeah,
day
for
when
sure.
it wasn't good.
Yeah.
So she was like, why are you buy? She was like, the reason why your kids don't like some of the shit that you cook, because you like buying all this off-brand shit. She was like, buy some. She was like, if you went to a restaurant and they had Great Value ketchup, would you want that or would you want some Heinz? I was like, well, I probably would prefer Heinz. She's like, buy the fucking Heinz then.
Well, nigga, I'm poor. Fuck is you saying?
So she taught me about. So like my dad was a big coupon shopper, but like I ain't clipping out no fucking coupons. My goddamn house. No, my nigga, I see why he would buy the Sunday paper and sit down and watch the game and clip coupons because groceries are expensive. But guess what? Coupons help you save money.
When I was at the credit union, this your homeboy wife actually.
Okay.
She was the plug for the coupon. Like
really,
she was the plug. Like people went to her like for the coupons. She was mailing bitches out the whole like so the couponers went to her. Like she was the plug and she laid down the whole game because like a few years ago, well, for certain communities, couponing is gonna always be a thing.
yeah.
But it hit black folks a couple years ago.
Oh, that extreme couponing?
Yeah, that extreme couponing shit.
So I dated a girl that was like an extreme couponer.
About 10 years ago, it was up. I don't know where it went now. I don't see it as much.
But you're
like,
right. It was around that time frame. It was about 10 or so years ago. And she was an extreme couponer. And I thought it was the dumbest shit in the world until I went with her one night. She was like, we got to go at midnight when they stock the shelves and the lines aren't long. So they're not going to give me shit about using all these coupons. Nigga, I saw her using coupons to the point they were giving her money back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. Like,
I forget. I was watching one of these shows, or man, it could have been on YouTube. Like the woman quit her job because she was saving more money than she was bringing in at her job. So she's like, I might as well be a stay-at-home mom. And then now they had like her pantry was like a store.
So that this was like, oh girl, I was dating. I was like, why the fuck are you buying 10 body washes at a time? Like that's stupid. Then like she was like, well, after we go shopping, she would be like, well, can you help me bring the groceries in the house? I mean, it's my girl. So yeah, I'm gonna help you bring the groceries in. And she took me to her basement, which was essentially a Target. And she was like, she sell the bundles. And like I could see why she bought 10 body washes at a time. Cause like nigga,
I'm getting bitches for free. I'm getting these bitches off for $7 a pop. Like,
and they normally cost 11.
Yeah,
nigga, she gave me enough. and this is one of them things where I just fucked it up with women. But she gave me enough body wash, dish detergent, clothing detergent, dryer sheets, tissue paper, paper towel, enough to last us like a year and a half. She was like, no, she's like, you're my, she used to say, I don't know if you're going to be my husband, but you could be my practice for my husband. And I was like, I mean, what the fuck? I was like, I'd be like, what the fuck ever? Just
wow. Practice husband. And practice wife. Cause I mean, that'd be a thing.
But I didn't look at dating like, nigga, I've talked about it vaguely when my engine blew on my thank you. No. Thank you. So I remember when I blew the engine on my expedition, I was without a car for like 2-3 weeks. I'm bumming rides with my dad, getting around with people. And I remember my dad was retired for the most part, and he picked me up one day. He was like, "Man, this ain't gonna work much longer."
Yo, dad, he ain't for that shit, man. I
Because
think I didn't retire, my nigga. I'm trying to chill.
he was retired, picking me up, picking my kids up, dropping all of us off to school, dropping me off to work, picking me up, picking the kids up, and then dropping me
I
off at
think
home.
I just did a whole shift.
And he was like, "Man, I don't." He's like, "This your life." He said, "This ain't gonna work much longer." So I knew I had to figure something out. And I just got arrested. I just got out of jail.
Oh, that nigga pissed.
And so like he didn't bail me out. My girlfriend at the time, like she was an entrepreneur. She stopped what she was doing in the middle. Like if she don't work, she don't get no money.
Yeah.
She stopped what she was doing to come bail me out with her employee in the car with her and her employee's daughter. So I'm sitting in the back seat of the car looking like a child getting bailed out of
It's
jail.
so embarrassing for her.
It's so embarrassing for me because the little girl, like little kids, have a way of asking questions. Like they just
Can you
inquisitive.
imagine how embarrassing it is for her when she having her employee and her employee's daughter in the car? If you were embarrassed, think about like I know this is about you,
Yeah,
but she was super embarrassed.
she was. So she picked me up, employee's child in the back seat. This little girl is like now in college, but that's what she remembers though. I ran into her and she's like, "I remember when we picked you up from jail." Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So going back to the young lady, when I blew the engine on my car, I just got out of jail. I had to pay somebody to come get me out of jail. Like this was I went to jail like back to back. She came and got me one time, and then I was locked up in Macomb County fucking around with this other girl. So I couldn't tell her to come get me from Macomb County. So I had to remember the old chick I told you that died on me?
Yeah.
I had her come get me so I could get out of jail.
That's the money that you owed?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I owed like it took like $1,200 to get me out of jail. So now I'm flat ass broke. Like $30-$40 to my name. And I need another car though. Cause like I'm trying to work this shit out with my dad, but like my dad is also like, what the fuck you gonna do? Cause like I'm not playing taxi.
How old you think your dad was at the time? How old were you?
This is like 10 years ago. So I'm 32, 33. We had just started the pod. Like,
oh, okay.
Because this was like around all your birthday shit.
Okay.
The party.
Yeah.
The party.
Yeah.
Because I had the expedition at the party. So this was shortly thereafter.
Okay. Matter of fact, I do remember this. Well, that time, because I remember that first episode we had P on. You said something happened with the expedition, and you had just got a new car or some shit.
Yeah, and that was all around that time. So I didn't have no money. I had a little bit of cash saved up, but it was something like where I needed like $1,600 to put down on the car. It was like an odd ass number, but I was $500 away, and like I'm biting off of some of this money just to survive. But I'm also trying to do what I can to scrap some money together because, like, I got to get another car. And I was telling her about all my issues and shit. And like for some, I think she had maybe stayed the night and she had dropped me off to work. And she was like, "I'll come get you. You know, I'll help you out because you my boo. I love you. You know, I'm gonna come help you." So she came to get me that night and she dropped me off and she came inside, but she was like kind of, you know, just milling around. Like I thought she was gonna drop me off and leave. And she's like, I need to talk to you. So she called me back, you know, my bedroom on the first floor. And she was like talking to me and she pulled out of her wallet $600 cash. And that's the first time she gave me like that husband speech. She's like, I don't know. She's like, I love you, but I don't know if you're going to be my husband. But in case you are, I want to be obedient to God.
Yikes.
And I want to act like a wife before I become a wife. She gave me that money and she said, I want you to go get your car tomorrow.
Man.
And gave me the money I was missing dropped me off at the dealership that next morning.
This the woman who passed?
No, this
Oh, okay.
no,
I'm gonna say because like I hope this woman found her a husband, and that nigga's probably lucky.
no, she's still not married. She's still not married.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
But
She probably stopped practicing too.
she gave me that money, dropped me off at the dealership. I got my little used car, and I was back out on the streets. But if I didn't have her, like I didn't have no other way to go with the shit.
Saved by a black woman.
Absolutely. And
A God-fearing black woman.
a good God-fearing black woman that I took a wet boo-boo on in the end of our relationship. Just being an inconsiderate nigga. Everything that she did for me, our relationship ended because I did one inconsiderate act to her. And that she just like, I can't overcome that. Because she's like, and she told me at the end, she's like, everything I have done for you
This is
and
something
your children.
What is this? Is something like a van or something, or a white van or something involved?
She had a white work van.
Yeah.
And we went extreme couponing one night. This is back when Walmart was 24 hours.
Yeah.
And she only used all natural cleaning supplies.
Did she? If I remember this story, like she went out of town or something.
She went to Africa.
And was like, can you just unload this?
She went to Africa for 2 weeks. And she was like, by time I get back, can you and the boys unload my van and put the stuff in the basement? Nigga, 2 weeks went 2 weeks.
2 weeks flew by. Cause that was just yesterday, babe.
2 weeks took off. And like, and we're talking every day while she's in Africa. Because she had some dogs at the time. So it wasn't like I was going by the house every day to take the dogs out. But I take the dogs out. I look at that van. I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. So 2 weeks go by. She's back from Africa now. Now she has to go back to work. And now what? I got a van full of fucking supplies. Like the van is so stacked up with supplies, you can't see out the bitch. That's why she needed me to take the stuff out. Because like,
dang, man. Damn it, dang.
And I didn't take out one motherfucking thing. And like, nigga, she knew my license was bad. She left me with her other truck. She was like, she had a Jeep Wrangler. She was like, babe, if you need to do something.
What she look like? She's still single?
She's still single.
Jesus Christ.
She's still single.
Hey, yo, introduce me, nigga. God damn.
And she was like, babe, if you need to use my truck while I'm in Africa, just go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take it. But please, she talked really sweet. She's like, please, just take the work stuff in the house. Nigga, I didn't move one piece of paper towel in that house for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
She came back and I just didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing because I knew she was going to be mad. Like she came back from the airport. I didn't say shit. I just didn't say nothing because I was like, maybe I don't know. Just deflate. And it didn't. And when we finally talked, because I was like kind of avoiding her, and she caught me at my house on a day I didn't have the kids. And so I knew I could not avoid her. Like I heard a knock at the door. It was her. She was like, I need to come in and talk to you, Damon. And anytime nobody calls you by my full name unless I'm on some bullshit. Cheyenne good for that. When she say Damon, I know I've been on some bullshit with her. She called me by my full name. She's like, Damon, I need to come inside and talk to you. And I couldn't she knew my schedule with the kids. So she knew the kids were gone. She knew this was a day and time.
Tuesday at 12 p.m. Ain't no fucking kids in that house. They all at school.
So she know I'm gonna be there. And she came, she was like, what you did to me. First of all, she has gifts in her hand because she went to Africa and bought back gifts for me and all of my children.
What the fuck, man?
So she's at the door.
How old is this woman now?
She got to be a year younger.
So she's my age.
Yes. We're at the door. She's holding the gifts like this because she bought like 4 like authentic blankets from Africa. She bought my daughters like these brass bracelets. And I don't know if you've ever seen it at my house. I got this, you probably haven't because you ain't got no reason to be in my bedroom. But I got this staff. And then when you open up the staff, it's a sword. And I got this shit sitting right by my bed. And it's carved out. It's like, it almost looked like the Black Panther head on it. It's carved out. It's really nice. I don't know how. She was like, I did so much to get this through customs. Because it's a sword. It's the motherfucking weapon.
That is insane. No, that is insane, dog.
So she drops off this stuff.
That's why I don't know. You might not get married again.
I fucked up so bad with that.
Because like God was like, look, my nigga, and I've sent them all to you. And I've sent more marriage material to you than any nigga in the world.
And all the shit that I talk about, like I want a thick ass wife with a big booty. She was dark skinned, thick as fuck, with a fat ass. Nigga could cook, could clean, because she had a cleaning company.
And she had some money. And a forgiving heart.
Nigga, I would tell you one other stupid thing that I did with this woman. But she came in, we talked about it, she gave me the gifts, and she broke up with me. And she was like, you broke my heart. You broke my. But nigga, there was one other time. She had laid out this plan for us to live together. Because she had a house and I got a house. And she was like, well, I'm over here so much and I'm leaving stuff here and I have a house. And she came up with a plan for us to live together in 6 months. Completely laid out. Completely laid out of how we would transition together, how we could, what stuff of hers she wanted to keep, how she wanted to redecorate certain rooms.
Did she make you feel inadequate?
No, but
in the sense that like she seems like she has everything in line together, a year younger than you. Like why is your life in such order and I'm in such disarray?
So I think it was a defense mechanism for what she had went through. She grew up like having to bounce from house to house, like her and her sister being separated because her mama wasn't always in a position to keep them both under the same roof. So when she got grown, her life was so organized and in order because she felt like nigga, while we was dating, her mama was still getting put out of places. So she felt like she needed to have, that sense of security for herself. But she had mapped out this whole nigga. I ain't even gonna say mapped it out, nigga. Had typed it up. Had like, it was damn near like a PowerPoint presentation, a 6-month transitional plan on, nigga. She had pictures of what she wanted in this room, what she wanted in the bedroom.
You could have been splitting the bills a long time ago.
Nigga, how she wanted the bathroom to look. She had bought a vanity and
two incomes.
Nigga, and she was big on DIY projects. She was like, this is how I'm going to redo our bathroom.
Don't tell me no more good things about this one.
And all I could hear was, this bitch trying to take over my house. That's all I could think in my head. Like, she trying to come in here and tell me what the fuck to do. She trying to take over my goddamn house.
But she already got a house.
I know, but like she was trying to move in with us. So I'm thinking like she trying to take over my motherfucking house. I'm the man around this bitch. I'm Boss Dame. I'm Boss Dame, bitch. Don't nobody tell me what the fuck to do. Don't nobody take over my house.
Lord.
Boy, I was stupider than 3 motherfuckers. I look back. She is still single. So this is the last fucked up thing that I will share about this relationship. I was out one night with a lady that you know. I don't want to give her away and who her name is, but she's a wild young lady.
Okay.
I think you know exactly who I'm talking about. Likes to, hang with a crew that was putting hands on bitches.
Yeah.
They would get drunk and beat hoes up.
Yeah.
That was like their reputation.
That's unfortunate.
And this is now my new boo. You know what I'm saying? I love her. This is my boo. She crazy like me. We having all type of wild sex and it's my boo. So I'm out one night with my new boo who gets drunk as fuck at Deluxe Flux, falls off a table, and bust her knee. Nigga, by the time she gets up off the floor, I am watching her knee bubble up like a grapefruit.
Ugh.
I'm like, I gotta go get the car. Now, all of her friends are drunk. They're like, carry her out the club. Pick her up and carry. I said, there's
no.
You know how the steps is when you go on a Deluxe Flux? There's no fucking way.
Never been.
You're not missing shit.
I'm never going in either, by the way.
But you got to walk down steps.
No,
and then walk up the steps to get out. There's no fucking way I can carry her up these steps. So as I'm leaving to go get the car, I see her, and we talk because she like to go out and dance. And when I say dance, nigga, like dance till she gets sweaty, just Afro beats and all that. So as I'm leaving out, we have a brief word. Hey, good to see you. She's like, that girl that fell, she's with you, right? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I was like,
double on Andre.
I was like, yeah, she's with me. She's like, I hope she's okay. So good to see you. And I went and got the car. I fucked that shit up so bad with that chick. Man. Shout out to her. She's still single. She's still living her house. She still got her business. She's still doing
I need some cleaning around here though. She clean in like residential?
Yeah, she do.
I need these baseboards and shit. You know what I'm saying? I need that shit's clean. And I don't got it in me.
I give you her business info. She'll come give you an estimate, and then she'll come back and clean this bitch.
Because I just need somebody to do it one time.
She'll come in and clean like while you at work. If you give her access to the house, she'll come in. This bitch will be smelling. She don't use no chemicals. Everything is all natural.
Damn, where am I put my dog at?
She like dogs. I mean, if Umar ain't go, but I don't know how. If Umar is an attack,
I don't know how Umar would be when there's people here and I'm not here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because like when I'm here, like he's not gonna do nothing wild. And nigga ain't made a noise since. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a good dog in real life for the most part. But I don't know how you act. Like if I'm not here and a nigga walking here, I have no idea. What if he like, oh, ain't no restraining this motherfucker? Like I don't know.
Yeah, but I give you her business info. She come in here and clean this motherfucker nice and good.
Yeah,
but I fucked it up.
You sure did.
I fucked it the fuck up.
You sure did.
That's one of the worst fuck ups that's one of the worst fumbles I've ever had.
It sounds like I hope that's the worst one. Because if it's one worse than that one, it's like God damn.
I got something to top that. I got something to top that.
That's horrible.
I got something to top that one.
That's horrible, man.
Thank God for 43 years of being alive, being able to look back on my mistakes and my follies, and I can laugh about some of them now.
Man, I wonder, sometimes I be thinking like, thinking back to the girls that I've dated or we were spending time together or whatever, and I'll be looking back like, why did we ever stop talking? I'm like, because one of them, never mind. I'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
No, I be happy. Remember you had asked me about somebody some months ago.
Okay.
And whatever, it don't fucking matter.
There have been two women that I've seen you with in all my years of knowing you. I'm never don't worry, I'm not gonna bot you in on no shit. And when I look at these two women, I've met one and one I have not met, but I'm aware of who she is. She hangs with some people that we mutually know. And when I look, the first one that I met, that's the one I want you to have kids. That's the one I want you to marry and have kids with.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
I want you to marry her, love on her, and have a bunch of babies with her. The second one, to me, she looks so good. She got a business. She got a younger child, I believe.
I don't know.
No, I think she is a chef or something to that extent.
Oh.
And I'll be wondering, like, nigga, what? I remember she came back and you was like, nigga, this might be the and then it just disappeared. And I look at her, I'm like, nigga, what happened? Like I remember you telling me, like, dog, this
I was really excited for like COVID. It was COVID. You know what I'm saying? I think it was COVID.
She's so motherfucking fine.
100%.
And that food that
we're not going there.
All I'm just saying is like, I wonder, like, nigga, what happened with that? Because nigga, that's a wife. That's a wife.
Yeah, sometimes I be looking back like, yo, this a crazy life I be living sometimes.
All of us, because we all as men, I don't care what nobody say. You know, I don't live with a lot of regrets in my life, but I know that God has put some incredible people into my life.
Yeah. And everybody is not meant to be together.
They're not.
And like sometimes two people can be great individually, but they're not compatible on all levels sometimes.
Or I look like sometimes the timing is just off because
big facts.
So my homegirl, her dad has been married 6 times. That's my nigga, Tyrone. I'm gonna say his last name, but Tyrone been married 6 times. He a player. He a player, like an old school gentleman, but he like an old school player. And he be like, "Hey man, I'm gonna keep getting married till I get it right."
Yeah.
And he was married. He said his old high school sweetheart, after he got divorced for the 5th time, he started to change his life around. He was like he had gotten sick. He became a vegan.
Yeah.
In his 60s, he picked up yoga, became a vegan, and said, "Man, I work so much supporting my homegirl and supporting these different wives, alimony, their other children." He said, "I done bought 12 houses."
Yikes.
So like he got a little player pad. Like his current house is just player. It's all men shit. You know what I'm saying? He
had 60 though. Like,
I mean, yeah. But I mean,
but like, how player is it?
Let me say this: the house is nice as fuck, but you can tell this is a man's house. He got a jumbotron in the basement.
100% a man's house.
It's 2 pool tables in the house, all leather furniture. Like it's man shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like he got 3 pit bulls. Like it's a man's house. But he was like, he ran into his, like I said, he got sick. He had a heart attack. He said he gave up red meat, cold turkey, became like a vegan, picked up yoga. And he said he went to yoga class one day because that's his new thing. In a yoga class, he ran into his old high school sweetheart from 40 years ago. And he was like, man, she looked better. He's like, she looked better at yoga class than I'd ever seen her when we was like kids. Hold on, man. This is Dr. Keena Day calling me. Dr. Keena Day, we are recording live, so do not say nothing too crazy. Thank you.
What up, Keena? Hey.
Bye. I'll call you later. And he was like, she looked better today than when she was like in high school. And he was like, he chose right the fuck up. He said they had lunch after yoga. He said, man, I ain't been away from her longer than 48 hours since that day. And he was like, it's just the timing. He was like, clearly I was a young man, 40 some odd years ago. But he was like,
man, some people be so compatible that timing don't play into it. Well, like they'll stay connected and they'll wait until the right time. Yeah. Like no matter what, we both understand what the time it is, and once everything is lined up, then this is what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's how it happens.
But I be on here talking about wanting a wife, and I done let
17 go, 17 wives go. You feel me?
I'm practicing to be a wife.
That's crazy.
That's what she used to tell me, and I gave her the worst practice run ever.
Yeah, that's why she not married. Nigga. She was like, I'm not doing this shit, nigga. Fuck that. I
know-
should have. She said I shouldn't. I shouldn't have tested the waters.
You know what was funny? Like years later, maybe about a year or two ago, one of my homeboys hit me up. He's like, I ran into her. He was like, man, like, would you mind if I like tried to talk to her?
Yes, I mind, nigga.
Nah, I don't. Like it is
If a nigga asks me, do I mind, and I mind, I'm telling you, I mind.
okay, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I knew there was no there's no chance of us like reconnecting and shit. So
But you don't mind because there's no chance of y'all reconnecting, or you don't mind because you don't mind.
I don't mind. Like I don't look at like women I previously dated as like ownership. Now
Ownership.
but what I will say is like there's probably like 2 or 3 that like if a nigga was like, would you mind? Fuck yeah, I mind.
All right, that's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, like my emotion, I'm not gonna sit here at my big age. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I don't have.
It's a list. You can't. Everybody can't be off limits, but nigga, I got at least 3.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 that like if a nigga came, hey man, you mind? Fuck yeah, I mind if you holler at her. Fuck yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Let's fuck on, dog.
Yeah, like
I shoot this bitch up, nigga.
like find something else. Play somewhere else. I do mind about
Find
these 3 or 4 women. I
find something safer to play with.
Yeah,
because that's not safe for you, my nigga. It's not safe outside for you.
And do I think I would give? Well, no. Given the opportunity, I probably would back to all 4 of them. But like for the most part, do I think that's like the Lord would have to intervene somewhere in between there for that to happen? But like, yeah, fuck yeah, I do mind. Now her, I didn't mind because I just didn't.
Clearly, clearly, you ain't give a fuck about none of that shit. What it ain't for you, it ain't for you. No matter fuck, they can pull out every stop in the world.
But see, that's the thing. Like there's nothing bad I can say about her. Like I can't say that she's unattractive. She's attractive. She's well traveled. She had the body type that I like and desire. She can cook. She could clean. The only thing is, like, she didn't want to have kids, but like at the time, when I met her, I was finding out about my son, about my youngest son, and I hadn't.
So, nigga, this is recently.
This is like I said, like 10 years or so. This is like 8 years.
Your youngest
is 7. So this is like 8 years or so ago. I was finding out his mother was pregnant, and I hadn't hit her with the news yet that we dating, but I do got a baby on the way, because I just didn't think it was going to be nothing serious. So like, why ruin it by
Damn, this is what I think you should do moving forward.
Go ahead, man. Sage advice.
Whenever you decide that you have figured out the course of action, do the exact opposite. Because every time you figure some shit out, it really never be that. It really be the opposite.
I've made a lot of poor decisions.
Like, there's a difference between accuracy and precision. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And like,
I'm a volume shooter. You know what I'm saying? I may score 50 points, but I done chucked up 30 shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked good.
So like, when you sighting in a rifle, because I'm gonna go to guns, because this is when you sighting in a rifle, you can be accurate and not precise.
You're right.
Because I'm aiming at the dot in the middle, and all the bullets are up and to the left. Now, they all in a very small group up to the left. So the gun is accurate. I'm just not precise. I'm not aiming that motherfucker right. So you got to make some little adjustments, because clearly you know how to find them, right? Like, because you accurate to the motherfucker at finding like great ones, apparently.
I have found some good women,
but the precision of just the aim is just a little bit off. And I think that once you get your alignment correctly, like, you're gonna be in there, my nigga, because you clearly picked the right ones.
You know what? A friend of mine, my best friend Ashanti, had said something to me. So there was a mutual friend of ours that I found really attractive, and I was dating for a little bit. But like, usually after date number 3, we fucking. And that's just, that's just my normal course of action. But this girl that we was dating, I liked her. And like we went date 3, it went good. Then it's date 4. And then like I really got to the point, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with her. Like, what am I supposed to keep taking her out and feeding her?
Or I mean, you can like just like hang out with her. Come to my house, not like come to my house so I can beat, but
no. And like we was doing that. Like I was going over to her house. She would come over to my house, and I'm just like, but where's the sex?
Some people don't and not sexually compatible.
Or some people just don't move like I move.
I mean, 5, 6, 7 hookups. Like, hey, like I would have thought my charm would have worked by then. Like,
I don't want.
If you're not in love with me after the 3rd date, what the fuck is we doing together? I'm not about to. In real life, I think very highly of myself. Too much to some chagrin. I don't even know if chagrin works, but I like that word.
Okay, I do like.
But like, why ain't you in love with me? Though, like,
so I hit up my best friend because she know her, and I'm like, what, am I doing something wrong? Because she hasn't offered her vagina to me yet, and nigga, I done pulled out like
all the stops. I gave
her some of my best stand-up work, and she was like, nigga, because she a grown woman, like.
What, she not fucking or what? What you mean? Because like the grown-ups don't take that long.
So she was like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be the good guy.
No, that's the truth. But she was like, not everybody want to fuck after 4 dates. And like
in my experience, they do.
Nigga, in my experience, it really don't take 4 dates. So like I just didn't know what to do with her no more. And then, like, eventually I stopped, but like she's still a good woman. She's still
well, you know what? I take so listen, for sure. That is kind of wild. But like, no, I don't want to say it.
I think like
I don't know who listens to this podcast.
The funny thing is, we did go out one night and my allergies were beating my ass. Like I'm sneezing every 30 seconds. And I feel like that night she was ready to. It might have went down, but nigga, I'm literally sneezing every 30 seconds.
Sneeze your ass out the pussy for sure.
Like, who gonna let me get on top of them? And I'm sneezing every 2 times I take a breath.
Hey man, sometimes it ain't meant to be.
Sometimes it ain't, man. Dating is. I could be one of the worst niggas in existence.
All that shit boiled down to like you're not the one. You feel me? Like all that shit, you look great on fucking paper. All this shit happened. We went out. You not the one I'm supposed to be with.
But 95% of them aren't gonna be the one.
99% of the people are not the one. 99.9%. So every time a relationship don't work out, that's how it was designed. Because like if you get married one time and you stay married forever, that means that 99% of your other relationships failed. So every time a relationship don't work out, I'm closer to finding the one.
That's why I gotta find her in this next year. I gotta be dead on.
You gotta stop putting a timetable on this shit because the times don't work for you.
It don't.
You know?
It don't. But shout out to Marcus though. It was some winners at church. It was some winners.
I'm gonna go. I gotta work this Sunday though, but I'm gonna go out after he win.
Yeah,
so I can receive congratulations. Acknowledge me.
Yeah, we need y'all to go out and vote because right now we 1-1 at the polls. If we get Boyd in, we're gonna be
2-1,
2-1, which pushes our percentage back up there. So we need y'all to get out there and vote.
I mean, it's a 50% chance if you come fuck with the pod, you get elected. That's great.
Yeah.
Now it could be a 66% chance,
which is enough for us to start charging candidates
because
we're swaying votes.
Would you take money from Team Trump
to do what?
Post Instagram story that people should go out and vote or post something that's anti-Kamala. Would you take money from Team Trump?
How much?
How much would it take? All right, $700.
No, I'm thinking you talking about like real money, like they all.
So I want to make sure I understand. If that they said, hey, here's $700, post this on the story, you're not posting it
How long I got to keep it up?
for 24 hours, nigga, like a post. I mean, like a story, Instagram story.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Now, if Team Harris say, here's $700, post something in support of me, would you put that on your Instagram story?
I more so believe in that. So yes.
You believe in what?
I'm more comfortable with her being the president than I am with Trump. So I could stand behind that. I would feel more comfortable to stand behind that. If it was a Trump post, it would just be about the money. And if it's just about the bag, I'm cool with that. But I do need the bag to be a little bit more. Just a little bit more. 1,500, we can have it. We talking.
All right. $1,700. I need you to post something on your story. Not your story, but like on your actual timeline, and you gotta leave it there till the election.
Nigga, till the election. That's different from being
it's Tuesday,
story.
Nigga. It's Friday now.
Round it up to 2 G's and you got a deal. Send me two racks. You got a deal.
This how shout out to everybody who taking money from all these political candidates, because I do see you.
We know some.
And when I say shout out, I'm not even being facetious. Like that's not like a backhanded compliment. Shout out to everybody who taking money from the political candidates, because get your fucking money, dog.
Yeah.
Because I seen worse shit posted on the internet before. Like I see worse shit posted on the internet. Get your fucking money, because guess what? It don't mean that you vote for them. It don't mean that you support them. That means they are passing out money, and I'm not mad at anybody for taking the money.
How much would it take for you to post a Trump ad?
Give me $700
for 24 hours.
Nigga, Kamala team just text me today for $700
to post on Shop Talk.
No, look, my phone is recording this shit. Like, you can win up to $700, blah blah blah. This the last, because remember they reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and it said for $400.
Yeah.
And I clicked on the link. I was like, oh, and then when I clicked on the link, they said 2. I'm like, y'all niggas bullshit. And I never responded back. Today they text like, hey, this the last day. You can win up to $700 for some vote, blah blah blah. And so I typed it in there. I'm like, nigga, I will take the fucking money. Like, I already voted, and I didn't. I already voted.
They don't care about you. They care about the impression.
But that the questionnaire, are you likely to vote for? They didn't say Trump at all. Like, how likely are you to vote? Are you definitely voting, or maybe, or you undecided, or not at all? And you clearly know what I posted. I was like, I am definitely voting for this candidate.
Yeah.
I did not, but I clicked like, give me the fucking money. I don't give a fuck what these people think about me. I will post a Trump story, then take the money, and then 3 stories later, it'll be a Biden Harris fucking post. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. And if you stop fucking with me in my actual life, because I have a different, you perceive I have a different political view than you, bye, nigga.
That Trump one is just a little bit harder for me to stomach.
Because of
I don't want to be associated with that shit. But when you put it like that, I've been associated with much worse.
Niggas is associated with murderers, rapers, and killers now.
Yeah, including
now.
I won't say the rapist part, but
niggas be out here raping. When you had her to you come to the, I'm being slightly facetious, but this shit's still dangerous. When old girl came to your crib and y'all got her drunk and now y'all having sex, that's a little creepy.
It is.
Now, and especially like you didn't get as drunk. Both y'all drunk, both y'all tipsy. But like, I don't know, that's a gray area now. Cause it's like,
it's not really a gray area. It's very black and white.
Like when you married or this your girlfriend or some shit, even though that's still, it just sounds wrong. Like when you get some, like that's a little,
but I can,
so when you got this girl coming over, you prepare liquor for a very particular reason.
Yeah,
And now it feel weird.
I bought this wine because I know that's what she like.
And what she do when she start drinking?
She do the shit that I like.
That's kind of weird. But it ain't. But it is.
It is.
You feel me?
So you talk about the murder and killer aspect. I know a young nigga with bodies.
I know a young, a old, a medium, all of them.
I know. I'm not gonna talk about this shit too deeply, but I know a young nigga who is feared because of the bodies that he has and because of what him and his crew have done. And he often reaches out to me for like older homie advice. And like when people see him,
Put your guns down.
when people
Put your dukes up. Now you a man. That's what you should tell him.
So nigga, I was in a situation where I saw the young nigga at the bar, and I know him and his little crew of niggas that will hurt you. And I saw them at the bar. They're, dang, what up? What you know you ain't spending no money when we up in here. Took care of my food, took care of the people I was with. He was like, nigga, you my mans. You know you don't spend no money when I'm around. When I left, I went to the barbershop the next day and saw people that were there at the bar that night. They was like, you know that nigga? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, his number in my phone. I can call him right now. They was like, do you
know that nigga?
He's like, do you know what he's known for? I'm like, yeah, I do.
And I want to stay on this side of the game.
I do know what I know very well what he's known for, and we don't have that rapport. You know what I'm saying? Like he a younger nigga that I've known since he was like a pup, and now that he is an animal, like
he a big dog.
Like now I still know the nigga.
Yeah,
I know what he does, but like he don't do that shit around me. But I understand the presence that him and his crew bring to places. But that's still my guy. But when you say like those associations, I've been associated with worse because people have seen me with him, and it's like, yo, I don't like, look, man, I know we was joking at the barbershop. I don't want, like, nigga, we don't have no problems. I'm not gonna sick the young nigga.
Not putting in calls.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because now that changes me and his relationship.
Yeah.
You feel me? Now I'm not.
And we've joked about it, but he's like one of them calls. If I make the call, I'm not gonna be able to turn this button off.
Yeah.
Like if I say that, like, yo, I'm in danger and I need y'all, I know he gonna come. But like once the call is made, it's out of my hands.
It's above me now.
Yeah.
It's above me now.
Like that's not a call I'm gonna put in just because nigga, I'm mad because you owe me $40.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not one of them.
I've been associated. I mean, people post worse shit on the internet all the time.
They do.
And guess what though? For me, this is what I personally believe. And I stole this quote. You've probably heard it before.
Okay.
You're never as good as they say you are, and you're never as bad as they say you are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's with everybody. And I do know that Kwame had posted something. Matter of fact, do I still got it up here? I might have deleted this shit. If I deleted it, then forget it.
Pineapples on tacos, flirting. Pineapples on pizza, sexual harassment. That's the tweet.
Wait, what?
This tweet says pineapples on my tacos is equivalent to flirting. Pineapples on my pizza is equivalent to sexual harassment.
Oh, this I want to play. This is people didn't like when I posted this, apparently, but whatever.
Morning, family. I was just listening to some of the vitriol and emotion, heightened emotion in this campaign from both sides. I hate you. And they people going crazy, man. It sounds crazy to me because I used to write commercials for the Democratic campaign for Northern Michigan. I used to say, you got to stop Detroit from taking all our money. And then I go up there for a hearing, and all of the folks up there would be, you're taking our money. I wrote the commercial. I'm in there. They're like, no, I'm trying to explain it. But inside, I'm happy because they ended up voting for my candidate. My candidate came to the legislature. He voted for me for leader. It was an ulterior motive to get in their emotions. That's what they doing to you. See, the Jewish community, the Latino community, even the gay community, they got people on both sides. Yeah, they stirring the pot on both sides. But you, oh, you're shut up. They playing with your emotions, Smokey. Stop it. Calm down. Because after this, you got to get engaged no matter who is there for your community. Have a wonderful day. Smile. Kiss your wife. Hug your children. It's all right. Peace.
I understand that some people don't like Kwame Kilpatrick. I don't happen to be one of those people. It is what it is.
I like Kwame. I love I love this rebranded version of Kwame. I like him.
You can disagree with me liking him or not disliking him or not, have at it. I don't mind. But what he said in this clip is not incorrect. Like everybody right now, and I posted a clip right after this from Cutting Through the Culture, that the show that Chuck be on.
Okay.
And one of the guys was pretty much explaining, like, look, I'm not really into all this bipartisan stuff because they have basically created two groups, even though there's more, created two groups and put everybody's livelihood or your beliefs on one side or the other.
Right.
So when all of your hopes, dreams, and everything that you care about is attached to one group, everybody in that other group is anti-you, because that's what it feels like. If what they deem as reproductive rights is your top priority, anyone on the other side wants to take something from you. And now it creates this adversarial thing, and everybody is really emotional about it on both sides. And somebody wrote the ad campaign that you read or that you saw. Somebody wrote that to invoke the exact emotion that you have right now, at fear to anger. So like when we talk about this on This Week in Culture all the time. When it's a particular show and you hate a character, man, I can't stand that motherfucker, man. When you say that Negan he was too overbearing, somebody wanted you to feel exactly that. Like they wrote that character to evoke that same emotion.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because like every now and again I go back and start like a show I enjoy from the beginning.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has been like the latest one I went back and there was a point where King Joffrey was a very overbearing character.
Man,
I wanted something to happen to him.
Yes.
You start feeling emotional about this fictional character set up in a land and time that was centuries ago, and I wanted him to die. In the episode where he died, I felt so much joy and release when I found out who killed him, and she had that whole dialogue with his father, and she like, tell her it was me. Like I felt so much joy.
Now imagine that same writer telling you stories about either candidate, and you don't like that candidate. Like it's people who hate Kamala and would do harm to her. There's clearly people who want to do harm to Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, fam, this not normal. Everybody, political beliefs aside, it's not normal to harbor hate in your heart for a person you've never met.
Absolutely.
Who's never done anything to you, and everything that you see is out of context. The clip from Kamala Harris saying that she's not going to do anything for black people is out of context. Yeah. That is not the full understanding. The clip of Donald Trump saying there were good people on both sides is not the context that he said that in. It is not. It has been disproven plenty of time. But those are two different things that either person will point to and I hate that.
The funny thing that Kwame clip made me think about, years ago, I was probably 19, 20. I worked at a radio station. I wrote radio copy. This was like during political season, and we used to have candidates come to the radio station. It's a gospel station, and talk on certain shows, and they would pay us, radio stations are run off of ads.
Big facts.
And they would pay us to, run their ads. I wrote political ads as well. I just used the material that they gave me. But for somebody listening, for me, it's just, we get paid $50 for a 30-second commercial. For me, it's a quick $50.
For you, that's your personal life story.
Yeah. And like people, it invokes emotion from people.
I troll sometimes on my timeline.
Really now.
You feel me? Like I know what's gonna get, and I know what's gonna get a reaction.
That was sarcastic.
I get it for sure. But like I know what to get a reaction, negative or positive. I know when I want to cause chaos or like just disrupt in my own time, because your timeline and my timeline different. Like I know what I do sometimes. Sometimes no, nigga, I really feel like that way. Or I just think this was a cool point. Whether it's the point that I agree with or not, like I thought this was a cool point, and I think it was such a cool thought that other people should see it. That don't mean like I agree with the whole thought sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just should be on the timeline. But like the level of hate and the level of you don't really know. I don't want to put this. The level of detail that you are unaware of when you see certain clips and certain rhetoric, and let me call it what it really is, propaganda pieces. I wrote something on Twitter and Facebook like, you got to beware of propaganda, but not just when it comes to politics, because most of the stuff that you hear and that you read, it is not true.
Yeah.
Like it's just not true. And me and Ant was fucking around one day and started like, let's make something up on I forget what lie we made up. You know what I'm saying? But we started tweeting and a couple people started retweeting and shit. Like we made up a lie about the show, just like on some playing shit.
Nigga, a couple months ago, I told people Shop Talk was ending because you wouldn't apologize to me.
Niggas was really hitting me up.
Somebody hit me up like, what are you going to do on Fridays now? Like, what's your plan?
One of my closest friends was like, so what's the plan now? Y'all ain't doing shop. I'm like, damn, y'all don't actually read or don't actually like.
I was trolling really hard with that shit.
But look how easy it is.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? And then and once someone says that, hey, Jay and Dane broke up. They didn't It's the truth now.
Yeah.
Like it's the truth. It's so crazy what's going on in this politics shit. And he was absolutely right. No matter what, once the person become president, you have to engage. You have to engage, or for your community, no matter who win.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, fuck it. Trump won. So now what you do for the next 4 years? Well, last time some people were actively disengaged. But when Obama ran, another half of the country was actively disengaged. I think it's the same government. And these two individuals do not make the decisions.
There's so many other, and I think that's what people get caught up in. Like, yes, they are the president.
The theater of it all is very enticing because it's written so well. It's the best television show. The longest running American television show is the presidential election. Because they've been doing this shit every 4 years.
It tugs at your heartstrings. Your emotions go up and down with every episode.
Yeah.
And they leave you with a cliffhanger. How's it going to end?
Nigga,
find out November the 5th.
Nigga, ABC accidentally posted that Kamala won Pennsylvania and had numbers already. Like, what the fuck is going on here, dog? I got the screenshot in my phone right now.
They had posted it on Twitter.
Like, what's going on?
We're practicing. It's a dress rehearsal.
Did you know that on election day there was a cybersecurity military drill that was planned to happen in Georgia on election day?
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and the people on the internet made a funk about it. Now they say they rescheduled it. Now, why the fuck would you schedule that on election day? A cybersecurity hack thing. Training drill. Remember them training drills that just happened to happen on 9/11? And every time it was training drills on Pearl Harbor, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like every time y'all do a training drill, the real shit happen. And you playing that shit on. Now look,
We just want y'all to be safe.
this is one video I do want to. We talked about it last night on the live stream, but I want to talk about it on this show because y'all didn't see that shit.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
There's no reason for all of that, sir.
Wow.
This is my motherfucking right here.
Wow.
Why is it defending you?
It's not defending
All right, then shut the hell up and let me vote.
Okay, Jamie. Okay, we ain't got nothing else to say. We ain't got nothing else to say.
Wow.
We can go move on. Next thing.
What? There it is right there.
No.
Wow. Oh, wow. God. Oh.
Don't do that.
Wow. 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 All right, there's a couple seconds left, but not. I mean, well, I'm tired of hearing the word "wow."
Yeah.
But
I felt a little bit differently about this video today as I felt about it last night. First of all, shout out to my brother AJ for his insight. But he said something that really stuck with me. When people pull out cameras, at what point did you feel like it was necessary to record and for what reason? What did you see brewing where you felt
they told that white man with the Trump hat that he can't vote because he got on that Trump hat.
Yeah.
And he probably was upset about it. And black people want to get what they deem as racism on tape. Because they think it justifies their whole existence because you've been a victim in your brain of racism your whole life. Okay. So you want to take that camera out. See, this is what we've been talking about. Validation. 100%. And then we on the internet, and you clearly this has been posted by.
My clip went viral.
Yeah,
my clip.
Yeah.
So now I can put under there. If you enjoy this, you should follow me at Shop Talk Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Now I saw this on a couple people page, and black people, and the young lady who I follow, and my son had posted it. And that's who she had snatched it from or whatever, and. She wanted to point out that it is state law in Georgia that you cannot wear any political attire there. He just followed the law all through the comments. These are two comments I kept saying. They just following the law. They following the law. He should have learned the law. He should have known the law. And where are all the men at? Where are the men at? Where are all the men at? There should have been men there. Where are all the men at? I got a lot of thoughts. One, Jason Johnson, had no idea that was a thing prior to yesterday and reading the comments.
That there were no men there?
No, that I didn't know that you couldn't have a shirt that has any kind of political affiliation in the side of a voting establishment. I did not know that. Some people say, why don't he know that? I didn't know that. So
the only reason I know it because I have a friend that's a Trump supporter, and he went for early voting, and they turned him away initially. And said you can't come in here with he wear a MAGA hat.
What did they say when he
that you got to take off the hat in order to vote?
Okay. And did they call it a MAGA hat or did they just say the hat?
He said they just referenced to it as the hat.
Okay.
He got, he's donated to the Trump campaign. They sent him a hat. He wore the hat in there and it's like, you got to take that off in order to vote.
All right. Now look, me as a black person in this country, if I walk into my voting establishment and everybody in there white, especially when I was living in Warren, like when I walk in, I have a Obama Hope hat on or some shit, and they told me I can't vote until I take that hat off, I would think that you're trying to stop me from voting. I would think you would look at my hat and figured out who I was voting for, and now you are trying to impede me from voting. That's my first thought. And I will probably be upset.
Right.
I'm just being this me, right? Especially in 2008 when I'm super duper pro-black. Like,
Yeah, I
you know what I'm
you.
saying? Like, I would probably be like, what the fuck you? And I would cuss. Me, who cuss like a motherfucker on this podcast. I'm like, what the fuck you mean? I ain't no, I'm a vote. You can't take me, you can't tell me I can't fucking vote. Fuck this hat. Cause you don't like my hat. Nigga, hope for change. Whatever the case, whatever his slogan was. Like, I would feel that way. Now, in my humble opinion, this is Georgia. Last election cycle in Georgia, they said you can't give water to people in the line, and black people all over the world
Had a fit.
had a fit. They was on Breakfast Club. They was on all these things saying this is voter intimidation. It is voter suppression. They are trying to stop you from voting because you can't get water while standing in line. And that was for everybody.
Right.
But somehow it was an attack against black people because you can't get water. Now that was the law though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the actual law. But it wasn't, that's the law. It was, this is voter suppression and voter intimidation. In real life, when I look at this video, because the first time I looked at the video, I didn't hear no audio. I guess I should say this. I'm never okay with a white man calling a bunch of black women bitches.
Absolutely.
Right, wrong, indifferent. I would probably be cussing. And if it was white women there, if it was a bunch of white women stopping my black ass from voting, I bet you I have some bitches come off my lips. Bitch, if you don't get your weekend, like I know I would say it.
Bitch, if you don't get your white hands off me.
Now, right, wrong, indifferent. I'm not okay with him calling them out their names for sure. But looking at that video, y'all got that man surrounded. It's 7 to 8 of y'all. Y'all have him in a circle and y'all tell him he can't vote. Then y'all put your hands on him. You two-piece that man. So, white man walks in, group of older black women, because you know they voting. They so civic,
they old and sassy.
they so civic minded and 100% no shot. Shout out to them for that. Your white ass, your old white man coming this motherfucker with a Trump hat. You know you get my man. You gotta go. You can't come. Now he took his hat off and threw that bitch out past that blue line.
Yeah,
let that man vote. Y'all was mad that he cursed at you. That's what happened in public.
Oh, absolutely. He
started
off calling him a bitch, and that's what.
Now, when I be seeing police videos of black men being very disrespectful to police, and the police get mad, they be like, "Nigga, that's your job. You signed up for this. He can cuss. You can't touch him. He can cuss if he want to cuss." I cuss all the time.
I'm not working today.
Like I cuss all the time.
I do too. And when I go into establishments, and sometimes I cuss.
I do. Now, granted,
it's not right.
I try to keep a level of decorum in my but you know, I do cuss.
It depends on what it's about. Depends on what it's about.
Now, in my brain, I get it. All the sites are putting this up and saying like, look at this man. And I'm like, no, look what this is verbal intimidation. I would have been intimidated. It wouldn't have stopped me because I'm gonna talk my shit back. But y'all surrounded me. Now, can you imagine if there was a white woman there was a black woman. She has a Kamala Harris hat on. She goes to vote, and a group of white men surround her, tell her she can't vote with that hat on, and then somebody two-pieces her. Attorney Ben Crump is down there.
Nigga, we marching.
The Political Action Network is down there. Like you can't watch that video and not attempt to understand how this can intimidate somebody. Right. And guess what? We just talked about what Kwame said and how that runs the emotions up, right? That white community saw that video, and now it looks like these black bitches don't want us to go down there and vote for our man.
Nigga, I wouldn't be surprised if on November.
I don't think they bitches, by the way.
I don't know either. Those are grandmothers.
There was one old white lady out there too.
She was trying to hold the crazy white man back. But like, nigga, if people showed up in full Klan regalia at the polls because they want to make sure they white brothers and sisters can vote, it's going to look a little bit different. We be having a.
Now listen, damn, I don't want to make this comparison.
I don't want to make the black and the white comparison.
No. The comparison I'm about to say.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna make it.
So one thing I look at, I ran into Zeke this past week.
Yeah.
Because New Era Detroit has been like, there's at the grocery store in my hood, there's at the CVS. Like I've seen them all over my neighborhood in the past week. And there's a certain presence that Zeke and his brothers and the counterparts from New Era Detroit have when they show up somewhere. People feel safe.
Some people feel safe.
So,
I would feel safe.
and that's what I'm starting to get at. Some
Yeah.
people feel safe, but like, some of these store owners and shop owners and managers, they ain't happy to see that at their establishment.
There's somebody from New Era Cleveland who got arrested and he's been in jail because they said he extorted them for money. I don't believe that'd be the case, but like said we're gonna shut this place down. And they're trying to make it seem like they was gonna shut the place down if you don't give me money versus something crazy happened here and we're gonna be out here posted up letting people know that they're safe the whole 9 yards. And one of the guys who allegedly making the claims, the lawyers try to get the video from the store. They won't let them have the video from the store. Like, nigga, the one who making the claims and talking to the police, you wasn't even there, my nigga.
Yeah.
It's some crazy shit. But not everybody feels safe. So if some white niggas and some Klansmen come out there to make sure that they white brethren feel safe, and then we got New Era Detroit out here to making sure our brothers actually feel safe, everybody don't feel safe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always the other side of the coin. Now, I'd rather stand out there with my New Era Detroit brothers for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And I will feel safe there. I probably won't feel safe with the Klan right there. Granted, I'm packing my strap. So if them niggas want to react, they can react. They'll use that same white cloth to carry your ass. You already got the cloth, my nigga. Just put them in the bag. You know what I'm saying? But like, that shit don't spark no fear in my heart if I got a gun.
Right.
If I got a gun, that shit don't spark no fear in my heart. I also don't like that all them comments that said where the men at? Where the men at? My nigga, don't use me only to pay for the house and be violent. Like, I got more value in life than that. When something not going your way and y'all want somebody to be violent, yo, where the men at? Where the men at? Somebody should go, aka them comments like, go fight that man. Like, I get it. I'm a protector. I'll be a provider, but I got more value in my entire fucking life than just being the nigga that you call because something going down. Where the men at?
Because we live the role of a man, according to social media, has been stripped down to niggas that pay for shit and niggas that are willing to put their life on the line for you. And that is part of being a man, unfortunately, at times. But I bring so much more value to my home than
To society.
just paying. I saw somebody on a podcast recently, and I know how people hate podcast niggas, but he was like, my wife think I get up and go to Disney World every day. That when I leave and go to work, it's just this magical place where people are happy to see me and they're all agreeable and it's happy. And after 8 hours of dealing with that, I come home and I'm ready to be everything that she needs. I'm ready to talk about my day, her day. I'm ready to be a father to the children. I'm ready to, take over nighttime duties and put the kids to bed and help her with the cleaning. He was like, her mind, she does not understand. I've been fighting the world for 8 to 10 hours. She don't understand when I get home why I sit in the driveway for 20 minutes. Because I need to transform into that version of me that you want to see. Like, nigga, I'm battling the world.
Yeah.
And you expect me to come straight from the battlefield and be a loving, dotting husband as soon as I open up the door. Like life just doesn't work like that. It just don't.
In one breath, black men, we failing because apparently all black men are voting for Trump. And then on the other hand, black men, where you at? Come fight for me. Like, ain't I a man? Like, ain't I a woman? Like, what's my value in the world?
You know, it's funny how, and I'm not gonna dive into this too deep, but it's funny how like everything we equal. We can do the same thing as y'all can do. Feminism has created a false sense of safety in the regard that I can talk like a man. I can get spicy. I can get in this motherfucker face and say what I want to. But then when the reaction is not him backing down, but escalating, then it's like, oh, that's a woman. Me and you have talked about it and said it several times. Anytime I'm in close proximity with another man,
It's a low level threat of violence.
I size them up because I understand something that may be very minute to you could turn our situation left very quickly.
Yep.
There's a young nigga I know, love him to death, that works at my corner store. I've literally seen him grow up. He's same age as my son. So like I've seen him from a young pup to now he's like 21. You know, he work at the liquor store part-time. He go to school. I see him in the neighborhood. I know him. And now he's at the age, I knew him when he was, you know, literally in Pampers. Now he's 6'3". You know, he 215, 220 pounds. He got a little weight on him. If I decide to go in the corner, granted I've known him my whole life. If I decide to go in the corner store and jump 2 feet on his Air Max, I know me and this young nigga gonna be scrapping. Cause that's just how men work. Or that's just how shit works sometimes. And I don't think women don't have that same consciousness of violence in their everyday life.
Also, I saw a woman last time one of these black men that to come protect and fight shit came out. A woman said, I want my husband to do that like for me. That shit don't apply to nobody else out here in the streets. He is to protect and provide for me and our family. I do not want my husband putting his life on the line from random person at Target because they had an argument.
But sometimes protecting and providing is saying, shut your fucking mouth and get in the goddamn car.
Yeah.
Get in the car, Loretta.
This video just didn't sit right with me. The comments didn't sit right with me where it's like, don't call me for violence. And then when I think for myself and or want to do something different with my vote, like I got quote unquote chastised for voting a third party. They was talking about Jill Stein, like, yo, anybody
wasted a vote.
You wasted a vote. Every Jill Stein vote goes to Donald Trump. I'm like, or it's a vote away from the Democratic Party. I'm like, well, I wasn't never voting for Hillary in 2020. I would have sat the fuck out. I voted for Jill Stein in 2020. So no. Like, how do you know? And she's like, I was like, how you know that vote was gonna go to the Democrats? Because history, and that's a proven fact. What do you talk? Just because you say history in capital letters and facts in capital letters, it is not. I wasn't never gonna vote for Clinton again.
Do the knowledge.
Do the knowledge, nigga. Like, you are sitting here telling me that any vote for Jill Stein was a vote away from. Fam, you're not guaranteed that vote. I couldn't bring myself to vote for Trump in 2020. I'm not voting for Hillary either. I'll pick Jill Stein. Jill Stein at the time was the only person who did not say nothing that voted for genocide. Like, because what they doing in Gaza, that shit is genocide.
Yeah.
Me personally, will never put my vote or support behind a candidate or a party that says that's just them protecting themselves, because I think that's ungodly. And I think when it's time for me to meet my maker, he will look at me and say, why would you put your support behind something that's so anti what I'm about. That's anti me. Niggas right now think that you have to pick who you think gonna win, and you're not even. So if you had Satan and Lucifer as your two choices, they're gonna be like, well, I had to pick the lesser of two evils. You're gonna look God in his face and say, my nigga, you are putting your official support behind something that is anti everything that I preach.
Yeah.
It don't sit right with me. I'm not telling you how you should handle your vote. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with your vote. But like, this person was very upset.
But I can also do whatever the fuck I want to with mine.
Don Lemon was in the video, and the woman was explaining why she very succinctly explained why she voted for Jill Stein. She was like, well, that's not, you have to vote for the one who you think gonna win, and the one will do less than. No, the fuck you. Y'all don't dictate rules for other people. I get it. That's not how you would do yours. I am perfectly fine if a person wants to vote for Trump. That's not my decision to do, but I can't tell you that you're wrong for doing that. I am perfectly fine if a person wants to vote for Kamala Harris. That's not my decision, but if you want to do that, do that. I'm perfectly fine if you want to vote for Cornel West. That's not my decision, but if you want to do that, do that. Let a person think for themselves.
That's the problem, that we have so many people that aren't independent thinkers. They group think. You can't act like you want democracy and then tell people exactly what you want them to do, and when they don't do what you want them to do, then you're upset with them. You keep calling one of these candidates a fascist, and what do you think that is? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna do what I do, or I'm gonna punish you. No, No, you're not.
That's not how it should work.
But you're not.
Like, a lot of people just, I get it. I think everybody should agree. No, I don't think everybody should agree with me. You should vote for your self-interest. And guess what? Every 4 years, whatever your self-interest is, it could change. 1 year,
it probably should change, because your life should be changing. As I vote way differently now. There's, I was talking to Boyd very intently about the school board, because I have school age children. 15, 20 years ago, I didn't have kids in school. That shit didn't mean the same thing to me.
I don't know if I shared this in the group. Remember, there was a couple weeks ago, probably like 2 weeks ago, there was a local news story about a person who is a sheriff down at the jails, and he had been fired from like 7 or 8 different police departments because he's just a horrible cop. Like, he is quite literally a horrible cop. And they went down and they talked to the sheriff over the joint, and they asked him about him, and he acted like he gave this bullshit answer, and like, they had the cameras on him. He moved down. So what I'm doing, I'm filling out my absentee ballot. I bring everybody's name up, and I want to see what they look like. And it's one that, like, it's the nigga who gave the bullshit answer. And like, why would you hire this guy? And he was like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I can't vote for you to be the sheriff of the county. And this nigga is a danger. He didn't let off his gun twice. He been fired by every police station. He should not even have a job. And the Wayne County Sheriff office is the only place that he can get a job at, and he's still actively employed. You didn't do no background, and now you want to run this shit again. I can't vote for you, even though you're black. I saw your face, and I heard you talk, and I heard that bullshit answer.
And I know what you stand for, and what you stand for doesn't align with what I believe.
It sounds like you're doing a shoddy job. You feel me? It looks like you're doing a shoddy job, and if you keep hiring this nigga, y'all the only person that'll take him. They even had audio of his training officers like, fam, you're just not good at this. You can't do that. We can't trust you out there with your gun and your badge. And y'all gave that nigga a job at the Wayne County Sheriff office.
My boss has a saying that sometimes it's the wrong person, right seat. It doesn't mean, well, in his case, he probably is a bad person too. But like, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person just because you're a bad fit for a job.
For sure.
Just sometimes you're the right person, but this is not the right job for you.
I did as much due diligence I could possibly do with every vote I made. You know what I'm saying? Every selection that I made. And for some of them judges, I didn't fill out anything because I have no idea who these people are. And even if I knew who they are, I have no idea what your voting record is. Like, where's the place that I can go and look at your voting record and what this case was about? What, like, I can't look at evidence from like, why'd you make this ruling? Like, it's like, how am I supposed to pick a judge?
Somebody I went to high school with is running for a judge in Oakland County. And you've said it before, like, we're at the age where, like, we know candidates. You know, we know people, you know, granted, I wasn't friends with Boyd, say, in high school, but I know people that know him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, me and this young lady weren't friends in high school, but I know who she is. I know how I've seen
I was
her,
around to know that she wasn't an asshole, that she wasn't like,
or maybe the other way.
what I'm saying, insert
Yeah.
person here. Like, I know people who grew up with or friends with Mary Sheffield. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell me like, yo, what's up? Oh, she really be a fuck with that. Like, she come to every give back event that Tommy got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she gonna be present at a lot of different shit. And
if you go through the proper channels, you'll get her out there.
Yeah. So like,
and she gonna show up and be pleasant. I've ran into her at several different, and granted, haven't had a lot of FaceTime with her, but like, she show up, she personable, she gonna work the crowd.
We can figure out, we can get information,
some type of sense of who she is and her personality. So speaking of like Halloween, man, I love Halloween. You talking about her showing up because Tommy was giving out a lot of candy. We didn't make it by there, but it's just speaking of like people who be out in the streets and doing stuff for the kids.
Zeke and them was out there yesterday for sure.
They was at my at the gas station near my house giving out candy because my daughter, I took her trick-or-treating. In her mind, I'm an old nigga. They don't give out candy at the gas station. You don't know what you talking about, daddy. All right. Okay.
Like, how many times you been out, sweetheart? Like, you got a car? Like, where you be at?
First of all, I trick-or-treated, no lie, until I was 20 years old.
I never been.
I went every year.
I technically went like when I was 18. It didn't count.
I trick-or-treated
because it was only on the block. My girlfriend at the time, her mom loved Halloween. It had her house was the smoke machines and this and that. So we went like on the block and grabbed some candy. I didn't have a mask on. I didn't have nothing but a Eminem race car jacket on.
But yeah, I trick-or-treated till I was 20 years old.
Boy, them race car jackets was the shit back in 99, 2000.
Let me tell you something about a birthday of mine. I think I was turning 17. Belly had come out that my birthday weekend. And granted, I did have a girlfriend, but there was this girl that went to Cooley that used to work at the mall with us that had like a little thing for me. She knew Crystal was my girlfriend, but she was just on my head. She took me out to see Belly at AMC Southfield City. And nigga, what she had for me as a birthday gift? A blue and white Jeff Hamilton racing jacket at the end of the date.
That's crazy.
I kissed that girl in the mouth. She was my girlfriend that night.
I bet. You got me a racing jacket.
And nigga, I wore them bitches to school with some Jordans that Monday. What could you tell me? Not one motherfucking thing. Not what time it was. Not what color shoes I had on. Couldn't tell me shit. But I love to see them kids going to trick-or-treating. Oh, and when she finally... So she was determined to get 2 bags of candy. So we got real close. So on the way home, I said, baby, you just don't want to like go in the gas station. Like they giving out candy. They gave her so much motherfucking candy.
They always gave out candy.
Because I know that because I am the adult.
Yeah.
And you are 11 years old and don't know nothing. I said, just go in. She's like, you got to come with me because I don't know what to say. You've been saying trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
You've been saying happy. You've been saying
3
happy
words.
Nigga, as soon as she opened up the door, the nigga is at the door giving grown man handfuls of candy. She came out with this like stupid smirk, like, you was right. I got a lot of candy. She's like, Can we hit the other gas? Yes, we can go to the other gas station. And the liquor store is also giving out candy because they in the community. They know your parents buy Black and Milds here every other day.
You better give some gas. You better get some.
Fuck yeah, you better get that candy out.
New Era be at the motherfucking door, like, nigga, what? All this shit y'all take from us?
Fuck yeah, you better give these babies some candy and make sure they safe.
Hell yeah. Oh man. We gave niggas 2 hours and 15 minutes, man.
And most of it was about the follies of me.
I mean, for my
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dog. And you know, from the feedback that I get, you know what I'm saying, from the podcast we do, our listeners just like when we be sitting here just kicking the shit. We're not necessarily topical, but like we really be kicking, and you know, that's what people.
This girl used to listen to the show because one time on the show when she was my girlfriend, I called her my home girl.
Cause like I never know what verbiage to use when I be talking about women in the past. Like
she was a woman in my present at that time, and I called her my home girl.
Yeah, that's tough.
This is my girlfriend.
You can never go wrong with lady friend, because that is a lady, and we are friends.
We was having unprotected sex, and I referred to her as my home girl.
Is he your girl when she's at home?
I see what you're trying to do.
You feel me?
I see what you're trying to do.
She was your girl at home. She didn't understand. She didn't decipher. She couldn't decipher your vernacular.
We had a conversation about it.
I bet. I bet. You got a music pick, man?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I had never heard their music before. I'm not sure how I stumbled across this group. This has been my shit for the past week. The name of the group is Pivot Gang. The name of the song is Who at the Dough. Who at the Dough by Pivot Gang.
Where they from?
I do not know. They sound like they West Coast. But they independent. It's called Pivot Gang Records, LLC. And the name of the group is Pivot Gang, Who at the Dough.
They rapping?
They rapping.
That sound like a name of a group that they be rapping.
They rapping.
Like, is there any space for rapping no more? Well, let me rephrase that. There is a space for rapping.
Yes.
And I don't think people respect it enough.
So,
well, matter of fact, I don't really care what people think, because there's enough people to like everything.
So the beat is bouncy, but when you start listening to them lyrics, they spitting.
Yeah, I can't. They
spitting. So that's my music pick of the week. Pivot Gang. Who at the Dough?
Yeah. My whose man's is this? Is
yes, bitch, I lied to Gail King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, she's always gonna talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucked this nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
Not for why y'all think. What Gail King do to you? Why you keep calling that woman a bitch like that? Fam, you gotta respect that woman. She is twice your age. And she did a good job. About why you asking me about that? Because you niggas was fighting over Tory. And if you was fucking him, is maybe why y'all was fighting, because y'all was both fucking the same man and one found out. It's a valid question, but I think it's very disrespectful for you to be like, why is this bitch why is she this bitch?
It made me think about the J. Cole song and Nobody's Perfect, when she said she only fucked about 4 or 5 niggas. So you know you got to multiply by 3. When she says she only fucked this nigga once or twice on a drunk night, I know what that means.
He kept catching me when I was fucked up.
Oh, did he now?
Nigga, this was the pandemic, nigga. Like, we weren't even outside. What are you talking about?
And if you've been dating and you on the dope,
now,
you know when you get that call from somebody after the club, she done had 3 or 4 lemon drops and she ain't ready to go home.
Yeah, I will say this though.
Space Mountain is open every fucking day.
Her mom did pass in 2019.
Okay.
And the pandemic was 2020. So we're like within a year's time, I can definitely see you drinking a lot after the passing of your mom. You know what I'm saying? And that was your best friend, your mentor, your manager, your choreographer, all that shit. However, Gayle King ain't did nothing to you, dog. You went up there and lied. Like, I didn't know that bitch was gonna ask me that.
And if you
why didn't you think that she was gonna ask you that? And the rumor is that y'all was fighting over him.
And if you've ever seen the video with Gayle King and Gayle asked her about it,
she was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, she take the liar pause.
Then she repeat the question like, was we
intimate?
Sexually intimate? She was like, it wasn't intimate to me. We was just fuck. Like she was like,
no, she lied straight to Gayle King.
Big facts. Now she told the truth on the stand, but in this clip, like you think, I wonder what Gayle and Oprah think. Like, who she calling a bitch? Like we not on that level. You a young one.
Once Gayle and Oprah finished scissoring, they ain't talking shit about Mel. There's enough money between them two vaginas. They ain't thinking nothing about Meg Thee Stallion.
I don't know. That motherfucker called me a bitch. I don't like it. And her documentary that's on Amazon Prime. Like, what you mean?
I just say this. I'm sure Oprah can make some calls and push a few buttons. slow up that rollout a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You better watch about talking about Harpo Boo.
Yeah, that's just weird. But
Oprah don't play that shit.
That's my whose man's. Just put a little bit of respect on Gayle King.
Put a lot of respect on Gayle King. First of all,
because she ain't do nothing to you.
She ain't do nothing wrong. She a journalist and she asked the question.
Like on Good Morning America, whatever that shit was on. Like, nigga, this is a giant platform that we put.
Journalist that asked you a question about a case that you were going through. Gayle King did not do shit wrong to you.
And that interview garnered a lot of public support for your lying ass. Yeah. Come on, this bitch. Damn.
When a woman call you drunk, you her favorite dick.
Damn.
Call me drunk, baby. I'm ready to perform.
Well, you the first nigga to answer.
I like to say I'm her favorite.
Okay. You ever called more than one person and the first person they answer? You like, well,
I called my favorite first.
Was you the first call or was you the second call?
And she don't pick up. I know who I can call that's gonna pick up. And I mean, she ain't my favorite, but better go home and jacking off. So, and now we play the benediction music. It's your man's Dame 3_313 on TikTok, on IG. Post up, man. I'll put some content up this week. Like it, shoot me a message, something. And then it's Wild Dame 313 on TikTok. You know,
you should probably align all those shits, dog.
They don't. Dame 3_313 isn't available on Twitter. That's the only reason that they all different.
We'll put another dash behind 3 or some shit. By the time they finish typing that shit out, your shit gonna pop up.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, because
remember 2 different things.
Yeah,
when I was Dame Gone Wild, it was on everything.
Yeah,
but I was trying to rebrand my life.
You should go back to Dame Gone Wild.
I just might.
You know what I'm saying? Or Dame Gone. You thought I was playing. Dame Gone Mild is really a good name, dog. Because that was wild, not mild. Mild ain't like basic. It's a little spicy. It's a little spicy.
No.
It ain't spicy. It's a little spicy. It's mild.
It's your time.
Yeah. Listen, man. Shop Talk Podcast is uncut, is raw, is real. You might get some laughs. You might get some knowledge. Either way, you will be entertained. I'm not saying we the Rockefeller podcast, but we are Jay and Dane.
Hell yeah.
We